You're only young once, that's what people say. You're only young ones, that's what they're saying.
Blazebodyz! What's up? You're probably wondering why I'm back already. Usually I go about 2 or 3 weeks before I do another video, but in the last one I did, it raised a little bit of confusion and discouragement in a small way, I suppose. But there's always been a very a confusing mindset with putting on actual muscle, and the difference or differentiation of weight gain being from muscle or fat. People seem to think that they can pack on 10, 20, 30 pounds of muscle in a short amount of time, and that's not physiologically possible, even if you were on anabolic steroids and other substances in conjunction with. It just doesn't work like that. Now, the top level pros and freaks you see in the magazines, and if you've ever been to any bodybuilding competitions on a national even or professional level, you see some freaky people up there. But those individuals they're not. It's an entirely different universe in comparison to the average person who goes to the gym and works out on a regular, consistent basis. And even if those individuals are using assistance, the magnitude of muscle that you see from those freaks is not possible for most, for a very, very small percentage of people. And they would, through no fault of social media and the internet and the supplement industry, people are led to believe that they can pack on large amounts of muscle, and they equate that to the amount number on the scale with the amount of muscle they're putting on. And they don't understand that pretty much for every 3 pounds of weight you gain, or muscle, 3 pounds of weight on the scale is going to be 1 pound of fat. Probably 1 pound of muscle and 1 pound of water for every 3 pounds. And in reverse, for every 3 pounds lost, you'll lose a pound of muscle, you'll lose a pound of fat, and you'll lose some water. It's the same thing. Now, if you're on anabolic steroids, it's different. There are other factors involved in the process of actually building muscle. Now, I was asked by this gentleman the other day, and he was confused. He said, Jerry, I was discouraged. Your last video said that I couldn't put on any more muscle at my age. You said that in your 40s and 50s and 60s, it's really about maintaining your current body mass, and you can't put on any extra. That's true, and it's not true. Now, you got to understand that when the major factors involved in building actual new muscle, new prolificated muscle cells in the process of building new tissue, there are 3 major factors involved. There's your anabolic factor from your existing testosterone levels, your anabolic natural testosterone levels, your natural secreted growth hormone levels, and then in conjunction with, and then of course there was some subcategories of your thyroid function and other things. But For the most part, the two major ones are your anabolic levels and your growth hormone levels, which are all extremely high when you're younger. And as you age, those things decrease, and that's why you tend to start putting on more body fat and you lose more muscle. Now, in the process of building new muscle, there's a chain of events that happens. You go into your workout, you bust it hard, you start breaking down muscle tissue, your growth hormone levels, what existing growth hormone levels you have going on, and your testosterone levels, your natural levels going on, work in conjunction with each other, and without getting too complex, I'll simplify it, cause a reaction and secretion in the liver of another major player in the whole muscle building mix called IGF, and there are other variants of it, but the main, for the most part, IGF, and that stimulates the production of new muscle tissue. But those things are solely dependent on, of course, the stimulation of the damage you created in the gym with the right type of damage, like if you're training correctly, and with the amount of intensity. And we can go on and on about how people don't train hard anymore, train enough for that matter. And then and again, it's solely dependent upon what you naturally have going on. Now, as you get older, and it all starts going downhill around, and nowadays it's earlier. Nowadays, you're seeing kids in their early 20s with low levels of testosterone. The natural levels. When you hit puberty, your blood testosterone levels are up around like over 1100 to 1200. It's skyrocket. It's supposed to be up there high, and then as you get older, it starts getting lower and lower and lower and lower. For every 5 years, it drops. But these young kids nowadays, because of all genetically, and all the phytoestrogens and all the plastics and environmentally and in the air and the foods and the chemicals, and the fact that this younger generation growing up is, I'm sorry if I sound disrespectful, but they're lazy, and they go for the easy way out, and they go for the quick fix foods, and as far as the fitness industry goes, if it fits your macros, bullshit, crazy mentality where they think they can eat anything as long as they stay within their caloric range is idiotic in so many ways. But anyway, so as you get older, these levels go down, natural levels go down, and then your ability to cause that chain of events goes down, and therefore, even if you are giving it your utmost best effort in the gym, and I'm sure you all are, those factors are like keys that open the door for growth. Those things are not there. So all you can do is put your best effort into putting in your maximum effort per workout, causing the most amount of damage, and eating as best as you possibly can, and going out of your way to lower your body fat percentage, which will then convert and I'm trying to look for the best word possible, not reconfigure, but change your body's composition for the most part, and your body fat levels should be lower, which will raise your lean body mass, the lean muscle mass you have left on your body. For example, and I used this the other day with this gentleman, if you're, for example, 200 pounds at 20% body fat, 20% is about 40 pounds of body fat on that individual. So that individual would be at 0% 160 pounds of lean body mass. All right. So then you have another. So then you take that individual at 200 pounds, and he busts his ass and eats super clean and doesn't go out drinking and is not an idiot and eats sugary, crappy, processed foods and does his cardio and works out as hard as possible and drops his body fat down to 10%. That individual, but at the same time, he kept his weight at 200 pounds. So now that individual is 200 pounds at 10%. 10%, and that means he's dropped 20 pounds of fat, and now his lean body mass is up to 180. So that individual gained 20 pounds of lean mass by just bringing his body fat percentage down 10% and keeping his body weight at 200. This is an individual in his 40s or 50s. So yes, you can put muscle on in your 40s, 50s, and 60s and beyond. But it's, unless you're using anabolic steroids or growth hormone and other things like peptides or SARMs or other various things you can get, you're going to have to do your best to keep your levels at keep your existing testosterone level high, and you can avoid it going down low, because one of the problems of getting older is your testosterone level goes down and your estrogen levels go up. And then if your estrogen levels go up, you're raising other hormones that makes fat storage more efficient and fat burning less efficient. So you have to do your best to get adequate amounts of sleep, to not allow yourself to get so stressed, to avoid alcohol, which lowers your testosterone level, and other things. You can't, I don't want to use any profanity, but you can't fuck off if you're trying your best to look your best. The older you get, it's no joke. The older you get, the harder you have to work, because you have everything going against you hormonally. But you can do it if you put your mind in, if you're serious about it. But if you have a tendency to eat bad and drink and not take it seriously, you're gonna put fat on, and the fatter you are, the fatter you're gonna get. And the fatter you get, the higher your estrogen level is going to get. And the higher your estrogen level is going to get, the lower your testosterone is going to get. And the less ability you're going to have to put on muscle, because you need a high testosterone level to work with the decreased, whatever you have left, growth hormone levels, so you can fix the damage you did in the gym, providing you're consistent with your workouts, and make that IGF so you can make new or maintain the muscle you have. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, if you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, and so on, it's going to be harder and harder and harder to maintain your muscle. But you can do it. You just can't. You have to take it more seriously. And that's it. Because I absolutely do not recommend you go on anabolic steroids or growth hormone or any other things like that. If you do go and get a blood test and your doctor tells you that your existing testosterone levels are critically low in your 40s and 50s, you can go on testosterone replacement therapy, and as prescribed by your doctor, and that can bring you back up to a normal level of testosterone level, and then your gains would be more consistent and you would feel better. But that's by advisement of your doctor. I definitely don't advise anyone to go on steroids. Do not do it. All right, that's that, my friends. I gotta go. I got a client coming in. I gotta go kick his ass. So have a great weekend. I'll see you all very soon I hope you're all dealing with the New Year's resolutionists. You got about 2 more weeks and they're going to be gone. So hang tight. You'll get your gym back. And get to the gym! Have a good weekend.